You know, OpenClaw 3.28, it might just look like another number ticking up, but trust me, this one's different. It's a fundamental shift in how AI agents do, well, everything. We're talking about how they search, how they create, how they use tools, and maybe most importantly, how they ask for permission. So if you've been seeing the buzz about this being a major step forward, it's not just hype about one little feature, it's the whole package. All right, let's get into it.
First, we've got search. Agents can now tap into the live web, social media. They can hear the real-time buzz. Then, tools. We're moving away from that hidden magic and into a world where everything is more transparent, more explicit.
Next, approvals. This one's huge. Agents will actually pause and ask for a go-ahead from you before doing something big.
And yeah, images. Agents can now create and even edit images right in the middle of a task. It's becoming a full-on creative partner.
And what's holding all this together? Plugins. It's all about this new modular architecture that's making everything possible. You put it all together, and what do you get? A version of OpenClaw that's way more capable, way more controllable, and honestly, a lot more trustworthy.
Okay, so here's the plan. We'll kick things off with a quick "What is OpenClaw" refresher. Then we'll jump into the big ideas behind 3.28. After that, we'll look at the new powers, like search and images, and then the smarter controls like approvals. And we'll wrap up with something really important, what you need to know before you upgrade.
All right, first things first, what even is OpenClaw? Because it's so much more than just another chatbot.
The best way to think about it is like this. It's your own personal, self-hosted gateway. It's the bridge that connects the chat apps you use every day, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, to all these powerful AI agents and tools. It's kind of like a persistent operating layer for your AI, one that you control. You can message it from anywhere, and it never forgets what you were talking about.
And that right there, that's the whole ballgame. Self-hosted AI gateway. It means you are in the driver's seat. You run it on your own terms. You plug in the AI models you like, you build the custom tools you need, you get to decide exactly how your AI agent thinks and acts. That level of control is the main event.
Okay, so let's dig into the big ideas behind version 3.28. What's the philosophy here? Well, this release really makes OpenClaw feel less like a bunch of cool, separate parts and more like a single smart system.
It all boils down to three things, really. First, giving agents way better search powers. Second, making plugins more modular, more like Lego blocks you can snap together. And third, giving you much tighter control over what the agent does. And that balance is everything, right? Because an AI agent that's super powerful but out of control isn't useful, it's just risky. You need both.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff. The new superpowers this update gives your agents.
And we're going to start with search. So they're calling this a first-class X search, which is a fancy way of saying it's not a clunky add-on anymore, it's built right into the core. It feels totally native. Like, if you're already using xAI's Grok for your web searches, you just use that same API key and boom, your agent can now search X. It just works. Live social data piped right into your workflow. So why is that such a big deal? Well, think about it. Your agent can now track trends as they happen. It can monitor what people are saying about a topic right now. It can spot breaking news or research what's hot in the creator world. It's getting its information from the living, breathing web, not just static, old web pages. That's a huge upgrade in context. And hey, it's not just about words anymore. OpenClaw is getting visual. Thanks to new support for the MiniMax Image 01 model, your agent can now create images from text, it can edit existing images, and it can even handle different aspect ratios. Square, landscape, whatever you need. It's turning into this really versatile, media-savvy tool.
Okay, but with all this new power comes a need for, well, control. And that brings us to the features that are all about building trust and making sure these agents are working for us safely.
And honestly, this next one might be the most important feature in the whole update. It's called the approval hook. Picture this. Your agent is about to do something big, like run a command on your system. But instead of just doing it, it stops, it pauses, and it asks you for permission. And only when you give it the green light, maybe you click a button or type yes, then it proceeds. It's the ultimate human-in-the-loop safety net, right when you need it most.
And you can probably already imagine a dozen places where this is just essential, right? I mean, do you want an agent sending an email as you without you seeing it first? No way. Or messing with files on your computer? Absolutely not.
This is the feature that makes you comfortable enough to actually use these things for real business workflows. It's what makes them safe enough for the real world.
Okay, here's another really smart control feature that solves a huge annoyance. You know how you sometimes have to constantly remind an AI what you were talking about? Well, now you can bind an agent directly to a specific conversation, say in Discord or iMessage. It basically turns that chat thread into a dedicated, persistent workspace for that agent. The big win here? No more repeating yourself. You can just pick up right where you left off. It just cuts out so much friction.
So we've got new powers and we've got smarter controls. But to really get what's happening with 3.28, we have to look under the hood a bit, because there's a big architectural shift going on, one that adds some power but also potentially some friction.
What we're seeing is a huge move away from hidden magic. You know, stuff that just works but you don't know why. Now things are becoming much more modular. Think of it like swapping out a single black box for a set of clear configurable Lego blocks. Everything is becoming an explicit plugin you can see and tweak. It's all about making the system easier for us to understand and build upon.
But, and this is a really big but, you gotta upgrade carefully. Seriously, this isn't one of those simple click and forget updates, especially if you have an older setup.
We're talking about real breaking changes. For example, they've removed an old deprecated authentication path, and the system isn't going to automatically update super old configuration files for you anymore. So if you're running an older setup, it just might not work after the update. We're even seeing some early reports on GitHub of regressions. So the bottom line is this: don't just rush into it. Upgrade with a plan and make sure you test your whole setup afterward.
So when you boil it all down, what is OpenClaw 3.28 all about? It's about the platform growing up. It's becoming more capable, more controllable, and more modular. The search is smarter, the tools have guardrails, and the whole system is clearer. Now look, there are definitely some rough edges with this upgrade, for sure. But it's a really meaningful step because it shows us the future. It's showing us where OpenClaw is going. And it's not just a simple little AI bot anymore. It's becoming a serious operating system for the next generation of AI agents.